The tide of public opinion in Scotland is turning. The last general election showed us that the SNP were not as popular as they thought they were. Scotland's separation from the United Kingdom seems to be the SNP's only policy, and Scots have found it wanting. The SNP have destroyed one of the finest education systems in the world.
The number of school children able to read and write well has fallen again. Official figures show the number who reaching the expected standard has dropped over the last few years.
In 2012, 64% of second-year pupils were doing well or very well. Last year, it was just 49%.
They have damaged the Scottish economy by creating uncertainty about Scotland's direction as a nation. Well, the uncertainty of our direction as a nation and also the nature of Scotland's currency. This is doing tremendous damage to any form of investment in Scotland. It's catastrophic. Despite calling themselves Scottish nationalists, the Scottish nationalists are nothing of the sort. I am a Scottish patriot, which means I could never be a Scottish nationalist. Scotland's best interests lie in a 300-year-old alliance with the rest of the United Kingdom. Scotland's alliance with England enabled both nations to punch above their respective weights. Both nations were insignificant in many ways in the world before the Union, and after Great Britain took the rule of law and democracy to the furthest corners of the globe. Neither Scotland nor England could ever have done this on their own. England is Scotland's biggest market. 60% and more of our exports go there. It's our biggest customer and the largest opportunity for Scots to find jobs south of the border. The Scots need and want jobs, and that cannot be achieved if the Scottish Parliament sets taxes higher than the rest of the United Kingdom. People will not sit about like caper caillies to be plucked by a rapacious, incompetent Scottish government with daft and expensive notions about business and expensive, illiberal, authoritarian policies such as the Named Person Act. A commissar for every child and every home in Scotland. People are best placed to bring up their children, not the state. And the Scottish Parliament, currently under the SNP, continues to interfere in matters beyond its competence, such as foreign affairs, setting up duplicate embassies around the world. This is expensive to the taxpayer and a necessary waste of hard-earned taxpayers' money. Hollywood should not be pontificating about the Middle East or the latest tweet of President Trump. Parliament should concentrate on infrastructure.
The rich and poor gap is absolutely disgraceful.
There is absolutely work to be done, Fraser. I won't argue with this. There's work to be done on
twice as likely to get into university if you're poor in English than you are if you're poor in Scottish.
There is work to be done on improving the attainment gap.
Fishing needs to be handled at UK level, according to most of our Scottish fishermen. Fishing is a UK-wide activity. Our fishing grounds should not be returned to the European Union as the Scottish nationalists want, because otherwise it allows the Spanish and others foreign vessels access to our waters. We want to sell fish to the Spanish for their paella. We don't want to make a smorgasbord of our fishing grounds in Scotland. If Holyrood is only used by the nationalists as a plaything to achieve their obsession of Scotland becoming a small province of an undemocratic European authoritarian superstate, the Parliament will not survive. Scots voted for Scotland to remain in the Union, knowing that there will be a subsequent referendum on the EU by Britain as a whole. We knew that when we voted. The Scottish nationalists have simply not got over the rejection of separation and Brexit. They simply must abide by the democratic result. The United Kingdom gave a referendum to Scotland and paid for it. That's how we do things in Britain. But when you have a referendum, you should abide by the democratic result. Otherwise, why bother? This issue is now settled, and we have a bright future in front of us, free from the undemocratic and economic sclerotic EU. Britain and Scotland are open for business to the world, buccaneering free trade deals with economically vibrant parts of the world. Do we want freedom to be ruled by ourselves, or do we want to be ruled by bureaucrats? That's the question. Thank you.